I'm still kind of up in the air as far as whether the last part is even getting put up, to be honest. It was a whole lot of nothing. But in case it didn't, here's the general gist of where we are here. So yeah, there was a particular layout for this fight that I liked. So I just went ahead and put a battle save down for it. Basically, yeah, the idea is just the one ghost spawned, because the problem that kept happening is that I would step forward, get hit with every debuff in the book, and then functionally be left unable to move. And that's actually why we eventually want to go through Palace of the Dead anyway, even if it wasn't for lands here. It's actually why I'm getting these boots here in order to go pick up the mage pants later, as well as the priest pants. It's just there's a whole lot of facets to this to making the end game possible here. So, alright, so here's the general idea. We move here, we put down 2 phalanxes over here to block off this entire area, and then we use these 2 poison tiles as well as 2 phalanxes right here to just kind of repeatedly force them to walk into poison, run up and get stabbed a bunch, and then get exercised, after which we eventually can hopefully take out whatever's coming our way. We start off dealing with 1 to 2 dragons. The rest will hopefully be able to circle around the other end. And every single time that they use their big AoE moves, they will delete any phalanxes along the way. Now, I don't know if that's actually an intentional thing or a bug. Because, yeah, for most things, for most attacks, they'll use the attack formula for just kind of physically attacking something, and physically attacking a lot of props will usually result in 1 to 3 damage, depending on the damage type. In this case, it's doing significantly more than that. It's doing 5 instead of the usual like 1 to 3, which makes me think that yeah, they're probably using some kind of pure physical type situation. But yeah, the general idea here is that we're forcing all of the units to funnel around the entire map, basically dealing with them about 1 to 2 at a time. If we ever get overwhelmed, we can take a step back, put down a few more phalanxes, and then just retreat to the back, deal with whatever came through, and then proceed to go forward again. During this time, they've got no options to heal, so they're functionally just sitting in the poison over and over. And then we can make use of that, the big block in the top corner there, to push everything out of our way. The only thing that can effectively get through that wall is going to be the ghost, which we can't really do anything about right now. But anyway, we're going to drop a phalanx behind this guy, and then we're just going to quickly get out of the way before he has the option to do much of anything. So we're going to go ahead and move ourselves down this way, and we're actually going to put down probably a true strike here to get that debuff out of the way. If nothing else, it'll at least... no, we'll even just waste a true flight here. So, okay, so you can have you can have several different accuracy things, or accuracy or, well, I guess blindness effects going off at any different time. Now, in this particular case, I don't believe that'll actually overwrite it. Let me double check. I've actually never tried this particular trick. No, it actually did. It did overwrite. So basically, it's one. The way that it was before, it was a negative to melee accuracy, but you can have 1 accuracy effect on at any time. Like, you can have a strength effect, you can have a magic effect, you can have a defense effect, and an accuracy effect and all that kind of thing. And in this particular case, it looks like True Flight does actually get rid of the melee accuracy debuff. So that's pretty handy. Seems like another thing that we can potentially cheese. Now, the reason I haven't attacked that dragon here is I wanted a chance to go and set up a little bit, and ideally go take out this ghost before anything else. Because as soon as they start throwing out their big old dragon booms here, it's just kind of going to be over for a little bit. They will instantly delete any phalanxes in the way. And so, thankfully, he decided to move just in time here. Okay, he's going to be out for a little while. Alright. And this is the other phalanx that we want to put down. So we want to force them to walk through as many poison tiles as possible. I also want to get my back facing right there so that he hopefully will land on that poison tile there. He might not be able to attack, period. But ideally, if I can direct him that way, that'd be handy. But yeah, the reason that I wasn't sure if I was going to put up the last one is because it was literally just this fight for like 2 hours. And while a few things happened there, I was admittedly in a pretty iffy mood after 2 days of not sleeping and just stuff generally being a bit dicey. But yeah, feeling a lot better today, so that's good. Now, if this works out like it did before, I should be able to shank the ghost, do a fervor, walk up those poison tiles, then take another turn, attack the dragon, put stuff down. The nice thing about fervor is it is... I don't know if it's unusually fast or something, if it's like faster than other methods. I'm actually not sure. But what I will say is that it almost always seems to make you get a second turn almost immediately. It could just be with how slow the White Knight usually is. Like, I don't know if maybe they just have really... I don't know, maybe they have really slow ticks, but they don't have a maximum. I don't think it works that way. I think it's just a set number. But, well, and by the way, I don't think I've completely tied it into the other guide yet, but two more things for the guide came out yesterday, or I guess for the site came out yesterday. So the grinding guide, since a good number of people have actually requested that. Alright, that'll put him into kill move range. Let's go ahead and drop a phalanx here then. You may notice my inputs are a little bit slower today. This is simply because my my controller is completely on the fritz, so I'm getting used to using the keyboard primarily here. Oof. Friggin' disembowel. Oh well. It's not too bad. It seems like they prefer disembowel if they don't have an AoE, but if they have those phalanxes around... Actually, come to think of it, I know how I can cheese this. If I put 3 phalanxes down instead of 2... then I can make a situation where they'll always use their big AoE move, which is more likely to miss. Alright. So we're going to drop that right there. Alright, we're going to have to heal next round. But yeah, so two new things came out for the site there. So the first one was the second myths and references guide, and then the other one was the grinding guide that a lot of folks had asked for. Actually, I might have to... hang on, I gotta go check on something real quick. Just a moment. Alright, and I'm back. So, you know what? There's another thing I was thinking about earlier. Which yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised hasn't come up, kind of up to this point. But yeah, when it comes to Palace of the Dead and looking for a sustainable thing to get through the entire thing, so yeah, when it comes to looking for something sustainable to get through it all, I'm actually a little bit surprised that I didn't think to go use the Priest. That's actually something that's currently available. Was just realizing, like, for some reason I thought it wasn't available at all. But yeah, kind of where we are at this point, it's it would be a little bit limited on its actual offensive options, but like I'm thinking like shield and pistol or shield and claw or something like that, it actually could do the job really well here. Especially since claw poison does affect zombies, so that would work out just fine. I mean, we'd be able to functionally have a tanky build that can do exorcisms on a action move, so there's that. We'd have access to regular exorcism if we needed it. Not to mention they can actually mass prevent resurrections and things like that. Whoa, hi! What's up? One sec. Okie doke. Yeah, that was funny. Thought I got up in a little bit of a surprise manner there. Alright, so first off, I think we're gonna have to set up a dodge. So my biggest thing for this one is try and well, hell, for the first part, I just really want to get through it. But no, so second kind of second priority here is just trying to conserve as many items as possible. Realistically, I shouldn't need that many for the fight after this, but, you know, didn't expect this one to be so much of an issue either. And yeah, when I was looking through the route to get to the to get at that room from the other side, complete and utter no-go. It just would not happen. Okay, that one definitely needs to go. Their melee guys aren't too much of a threat usually, but as soon as they start getting vigorous out, stuff's about to get iffy. So. Unfortunately, this guy just does not want to attack, and I don't want to attack him either. So, alright, we'll go ahead and probably put on a strength in here as well. Just because I'm going to want to have that on hand for the other two that are coming up. Unfortunately, because this guy doesn't seem to want to attack, we're going to go ahead and do one of these here. So, actually no, I need to move 2 tiles. Which would unfortunately prevent him from moving. Dang it. Alright, well, we're just going to take a step back then. Because I don't want him... I don't want him to do his big AoE thing and hit both of these, but if he goes right here, he probably shouldn't target that tile. I probably should have put it against the wall, but I guess we'll see how it goes. Pretty much what I'm trying to get him to do is take one tile forward and attack. There we go. Nice miss. Now, I'm not sure why disembowel... Like, it must have some weird thing as far as its accuracy goes, because it seems to go, like, 98% normally, and then other times it seems to just go immediately to 25% as soon as I have a dodge on. It's like, I'm pretty sure it's not given 75% dodge, so... something else is going on there. We'll just go ahead and give this guy the double poke. Then wait for the skeleton to come up, then wait for the Amazon to come up, then deal with the gremlin. As long as the ghost is gone, we have more of a chance. Because the ghost would just float around, throwing around debuffs, eventually hitting us with stun, at which point we'll miss a heal, at which point we'll just falter and die, and that's it. There we go. Dragon is rip. Now, do we have any other dragons that are in the immediate vicinity? I don't think so. They should all be taking ages to show up. Now, last time I was able to get 3 of them down pretty early. The run, it is impossible. Not quite yet, it ain't. Besides, I gotta finish this run so that I can go finish off that dang monster run already. Which I've been promising to do only for the last forever. There we go. So how's that been for you, Mr. Cerebo? Noticed a few updates to the mod, but haven't heard much since. Let's see, there's been some monster buffs too recently. Aw, dang. It was already looking possible before. Does that mean you can get twice oil? Can you just immediately dump an entire gas station on an entire map? I don't know, that seems like a perfectly balanced feature with no problems. It's... no, it's just the new thing. It's just the new 5th tier of the bomb unit. It's just a giant oil tanker that shows up and spills over sideways. Dragon's Hydras need to be a little bit stronger. Yeah. Definitely seem that way. Nice. Alright. So we're actually going to move over here. Hopefully we'll be able to bait out a double stab here. So we have everything else blocked off. Unfortunately, I'm not making use of the 2 poison tiles. That's what I was making a hell of a lot of use of last time. Yes, it's not super amazing damage or anything. Also, thanks for that 25%. Appreciate it, Amazon. But yeah, basically, what happened last time is that I got almost all the way through this. I think there were like 3 dragons, 2... Well, I want to say the 2 casters and an archer left. And just all of them showed up at the same time, dumped all of their finishers at one time, and despite being like 30 and 40%, every single one hit. And it was just instant death. So that sucked, but admittedly, it was still my fault, though. It's because I decided to take a step forward when I should have been... Like, basically what had happened, I had this area kind of locked down here, and then they were coming up through these poison tiles. I had this set up so that they would have to go around here, they would circle around here, and then step in 3 different poison tiles, get stuck there for several turns, get stabbed while they were over here, would get overwhelmed, and would back up back here. And what I did was I went down and went for an attack instead of putting down extra phalanxes and retreating, which it didn't seem like I needed to do it because I was at almost full health, but it was very necessary, it turns out. So we're just going to hold the line here, hopefully get that double stab again. So yeah, 15 RNG, 30% of the time, it hits 100% of the time. Yeah, especially those 15%, man. Them suckers love to hit. But yeah, that was, that was an admittedly salty ending to the entire thing, because it was like, oh man, I finally figured out how to get past this stupid map. Because, by the way, Cerebo, for reference, pretty much where we are on the run at this point is, I need some way to deal with the bajillion debuffs flying around. So like in this case, for example, I know for a fact that she's going to go for a swing. I want to be out of range of that archer, so I'm assuming I'm already out of range of her finisher. But anyway, so I need ways to be dealing with a bunch of debuffs, which means that I need a few different things. So there's 2 sets of pants that I want to be able to alternate between. But to get through their place, it's good to have a way to fly and a way to teleport. And basically what I'm trying to do is just get a hold of items that'll let me do that. I have a ring that'll let me teleport, but I need my current jewelry slot to be immune to stun. So in this one, that's a 50% chance of not taking your action. which on a solo is a little bit of a crippling thing. But thankfully, that's the item that you start with. So I'm basically trying to get boots that allow me to fly and warp, which are useful in different situations. But then... by the way, I apologize if you hear a little bit of whining in the background. The puppy's a little bit upset at me right now that that she got put away from her playtime for trying to get into the kids' Cheerios. Anywho, so yeah, I'm trying to get those boots and trying to use those in order to get a hold of basically get a hold of another class. There's two classes that I want to try to get a hold of. So the priest and the buccaneer. Which will then allow for... basically, the priest will allow for being able to do multiple exorcisms per turn, as well as being able to do them in opposite directions, which would be very useful for this area. Not to mention they've got several different exorcism methods on top of that. Ah, that sucks. That sucks right there. Because I got to run up and exercise them, but I also got to heal. Also, you may notice, like I was saying earlier, my inputs are a little bit slower because I'm getting used to using a keyboard again because my controller is kaput. So yeah. But what we're running into is a whole lot of maps with a hell of a lot of units. So yeah. So I'm gonna hopefully be able to take another heal, and then throw out a fervor, get the haste bonus off of that, which should put us in a little bit of an interesting spot here. She shouldn't revive during that time. Again, we are slow as hell, so it's possible, but I also don't want to miss out on whatever she's dropping here. I don't have the list of all the drops in front of me, but if any... a lot of the enemies in the Palace of the Dead can drop elemental vests. If I can get one of those, that will change this run. That'll functionally make a lot of these things way more viable, because it's kind of the last evasive armor upgrade that I don't have. Right now I'm running the Damask Vest, which is good. It'll do the job, but it's not ideal. The main benefit of the... so with the Elemental Vests, they are a flat upgrade to the Damask Vest, basically across the board. Plus you get extra resistances off those. It's like passive resistances against certain races and elements and all that kind of thing, which can be very useful under the right circumstances. And that's what I want to get. I want to get elemental heavy shields, and I want to get more resistances of different kinds. Alright, let me take a look at the lay of the land here a little bit. So we've got maybe 8 or 9 turns until those dragons get here. At which point I gotta start retreating, dealing with them one at a time. And yeah, this is more or less, like, if you've played Resident Evil Outbreak, it's kind of like that. Just retreat behind a barricade, take your couple of shots, go get the broom handle, start whacking away from on top of a desk. That's more or less what we're looking at here. I don't want to step forward at all, because any steps forward will result in that archer getting a finisher off. They're not running longbow, so I'm not too worried about that finisher, but Brimstone Hail will still do about 80. Those dragons, each of their finishers, which they should have 2 of them stacked up each, those ones will do... Ah, man, that would have been perfect. That's the one case that I would kind of justify getting aggressive here. You and your double hit spears. Well, okay, in this case, it's very useful. So kind of where we are on the weapons front, I've got this guy maxed out for about 6 or 7 different weapon types. So he's functionally like in-universe Batman here. That was a complete waste of an attack, all things considered. I should have just healed. Oh well. But anyway, the deal here is that, he's maxed out for a lot of things, but when it comes to... Okay, they roll 25% all the time, I can't roll one. When it comes to the different weapon types, the Longinus here, that's the spear that I got on hand. It's essentially a one-handed weapon that allows for, like you said, attacking 2 different tiles. But the idea is more for just, it's one of the only elemental weapons that I have on hand that I can make effective use of. So kind of the build here is Divine Spear. It doesn't necessarily get too much of a bonus here. It gets a little 20% bonus versus Undead. got a heavy shield for a big ol' defensive bonus, big ol' health bonus, and then evasion and health bonuses from the light armor setup here. And so the idea is to be able to kind of parry or deflect anything incoming, or rather parry or block, since deflect is its own thing, and I'm mixing up my buttons. God dang it. That should be the right button. Why is it not? Because I'm hidden the wrong way, that's why. Anyway. So I'm basically using particular classes for particular things, because if I still had Holy Water here, I'd probably be using the Warrior with one-handed katanas instead, because every time that they hit, they reduce TP, which is how all of these finishers are flying around all over the place, and having a way to mitigate that would be very, very handy. Unfortunately... oh, and on top of that, they get a massive luck bonus, so the odds of parry rolling are much higher, but... in this particular instance, come on, please hit. Dang it. In this particular instance, it's not helping out too much. I'd love to have the skill slots open to be able to hit this guy, though. I think I might actually have to just Windsight this guy, or just Giga Tempest, or whatever, anyway. Yeah, let's do that. Just because it's the only thing accurate enough to actually hit this evasive bastard. That's a Dex card. I don't really need it. Well, I mean, I do, but I'm not going to risk taking a step forward here to get hit by anything. Anyway, sorry, it's a little bit of a long story behind the planning behind all this stuff, because I have... So, okay. Benefit of Spears, 2-hit range, get an evasion bonus off of it. Plus I'm getting a damage bonus off the type of spear that it is. Plus I'm leveling up an Augment, which I need for a different weapon type, so two-handers, because they've got a big AoE move that scales off of Divine, which basically you get about 4 damage bonus per rank. That ranks up to 8 plus 4 if you have everything maxed out. Basically trying to get Divine Augment leveled up, or light augment rather, up as much as I can. The idea being that down the line, that will be a free, more or less, like 40% extra damage off of the highest hitting AoE that I can reasonably deploy in a kind of fast manner. And all of that explaining aside, yeah, that'll be the move that eventually allows for curb stomping a lot of the side fights in the game. Because unlike the base version, there is no crazy stat cheese that I can employ here. So I gotta use skills, gotta use gear, gotta be crazy planned out all over the place in order to be able to pull this off. Because as you may have noticed, it's a little bit difficult. The numbers are not exactly in my favor here. This class actually has an ability that would allow for making these fights a bit more even, but I just can't spare it. So Consecrate Blade gives even more light damage for the spear, gives a Strengthen, so that's about a 20% increase in damage, as well as True Strike, so about a 25% increase in accuracy, but that takes one of the 10 skill slots, and that's not something I can spare right now. Because absolutely everything is doing something. Because the base damage of the spear is not super amazing, although, funnily enough, this is about the equivalent of a musket in the original game. But yeah, so spears, 40% extra damage off spears, a little bit of extra defense on spears, but nobody really uses them here. About 20% extra damage from Aug Light. Parry, so about a 45% chance to just ignore incoming melee damage. Phalanx for blocking stuff here, attack 2 for building up my meter faster. Stop ward, so that I don't just get like stopped, shackled, or bound, and then just have absolutely no options. Fervor for exorcising undead, because I have no other methods of exorcism available to me through any of the classes right now. Again, we're just down here for one item, so yeah, counter hit, Field Alch for healing, and then Rampart Aura for ruining their movement here. Alright, million hours of explanation later, that's the plan. Now, this guy, unfortunately, with his 25%, has kind of left us in a little bit of an iffy spot, but hopefully we'll be able to get him taken care of before that dragon shows up, because I need him to run forward right now. That's why I'm not moving back. If I move back, there's a chance he may just retreat. Right, if he's deciding to throw, that's a good sign, because he actually could have done a Hydra Press there, which would have gotten rid of one of those phalanxes, which would have prevented from exercising that zombie if the option was available. There's stuff going on. There's certainly occurrences. And despite their parry having about 20% chance to proc, it seems to happen every time. Are you kidding me? Actually, his shield got a bonus, so he might be higher on that. Okay, he's 5, so he's got 25% chance to parry. Still, though, that just rolled twice in a row. Alright, let's just move back. He should be able to move to about here. And I'll be right back. Oh, and by the way, in case I don't end up uploading it later, just because, yeah, the last episode might well have been a little hard to watch at times, it turns out accidentally did a cultural with this whole spear and shield build, because I was watching this. Oh, actually, hang on, I'll explain that in just a sec. Okay, and back, and yeah, to some degree, it's not as prevalent as it maybe once was, but you know what? It's a thing that can happen. All right. Anyway, so what I was trying to explain. So, in case I didn't end up putting that last one up, it's kind of a funny thing because I was watching this AoE 2 video, and so Age of Empires had gotten a definitive edition, and so they had they started putting up analysis of some of the new cultures there, or some of the new civs and stuff like that. And so one of the ones that got added were the Lithuanians. So technically, I'm originally from there. It's one of these cases where, like, I didn't really know anything about it. I was never part of the culture or anything. It's like technically from there at some point. But anyhow, so I found out over the course of watching that thing that yeah, it turns out that this was actually the kind of preferred build of theirs historically. Had no idea about that beforehand because I thought it was always light cavalry, but apparently they even had an iconic shield that they always had with their spears and everything. Painted with what was apparently called the Pillars of Germinus, which might potentially... I don't know if this is true, but I'm kind of wondering if Germinus Peak might actually be a reference to that culture, because obviously FFT, like, the whole thing was based off of a bunch of fights in Eastern Europe and all that. But yeah, spears in the family, yeah, pretty much. I mean, hell, who knows? But yeah, I never knew that. Like, I always thought it was light cavalry because previously So what I knew about the country, right? Because previously... Oh, stop with the Hydra presses! Like I said, they're just going to have a billion of these stacked up, and they can just delete my phalanxes instantly because of the damage formula on them. Because they count as one big physical hit. And also, I think Disembowel scales accuracy. That has to scale accuracy. There's no way that would have been 100% otherwise. Anyhow. But yeah, it turns out that, yeah, tower shields and spears were their thing. But what I had known about them previously... damage and accuracy by TP. Okay, that's what it is. Sorry, I just don't use dragons very often, so wasn't entirely sure what that was about. Let's go over here, do a little bit of healing, do a little bit of recovering. Actually, there needs to be a better way... No, we're gonna put down a phalanx right here. But what I knew about it was the whole story of Vitotas, so he's this guy that... So basically the story of this game is super similar to that of Lithuania in many ways, and it's funny because a lot of the costumes could be seen as pretty similar too. But, so maybe there's some inspiration there, but yeah. Look at Dorgalawa in this one, and it was basically Vitotas. The idea was that he was a guy that, like, there were a hell of a lot of dukes and whatever else, and they just kept fighting each other all the friggin' time. And so the guy just comes along, he's like, okay, screw it, everyone dies, and then just follows me, how about that? And so that's basically what happened, which is why the emblem for the country is a knight on horseback on a shield. But yeah, the whole actual emblem for the previous emblem of the country, where it was the like the pillars with this weird symbol in the middle on a tower shield, that one I never actually seen before because I never really dug into it too much. It's just the culture can best be described as just really, really, really stubborn in the face of bizarre situations. Like that about sums it up, really. It's like there were so many times when the entire thing should have just crumbled into dust, and everyone's just like, no, we don't feel like it. It's a tiny little country in the middle of nowhere. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, still keep doing stuff. But anyhow, yeah, interesting read. But mostly what I knew about it was just the fact that that guy was more or less spending most of his history running around and trying to reel in all of his relatives and things like that, and then ultimately ended up causing an entire civil war because he decided to go marry like his cousin's wife or something. It was weird, man. It was super weird. Yeah, but yeah, so my brother and I were basically talking about all this stuff because yeah, I had gotten him that game for Christmas because he's super into the culture and everything, and I just noticed that they got added in there, and one of the bonuses was a massive food bonus, which we were joking because growing up, like, it was just downright comical how much food people were expected to eat / make during a holiday. Like for Easter and Christmas, if the Christmas thing is like 12 to 13 dishes that one person is supposed to prepare. It's usually the youngest woman that's supposed to be getting married the soonest and/or was married the soonest, and they're expected to make like 13 dishes in a couple days, many of which are just freakishly complicated, including a drink that, I kid you not, takes almost 2 days to make. That's just basically fermented burnt bread. You're trying to think of all the updates for monsters I've done since you last played. It's been a while. The mod is even public. Yeah, I know, we saw that. I've been directing a few people your way. I don't know how many of them ended up following through. But anyone that's been curious, I've been trying to direct your way. Alright, fermented what bread? Burnt. Like, fried, burninated toast. No, I'm not kidding. That is exactly what it is. Yeah, it's, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna actually keep this dragon in the poison here. Basically... Oh, crap, I'm maxed out. Alright, well, poo. That's a bit of a problem. I suppose it's not too much of a problem. 2 of them I might be able to handle. This guy's almost down. If he goes for... He's probably gonna go for a melee. No, he's a thrower. That one's a thrower. Is this one a thrower? No. Alright, whatever. I just gotta set this one out. But yeah, it's basically burnt bread, plus raisins, plus sugar, plus I think like cinnamon and some other spices. And this stuff is just fermented in a friggin' bucket. and yeah, it's surprisingly good. It's like a homemade beer of sorts. And actually, after a few days, it does become alcoholic. But dude, that stuff is surprisingly good. Culturally speaking, it is a about the equivalent of a root beer kind of thing until it becomes actual beer. But it's called Gira, G-I-R-A, which functionally just... I'm not very good at the language. I never really learned the entire thing before. Like, I was a friggin' baby when I was brought over, so I don't know a lot of things about it. And quite frankly, my introductions to the community were less than positive, so I never really got too much into the culture. Like, I think the only thing that caused me to be interested in it was the fact that I recognized some stuff in games and the fact that my brother was super into it. Aside from that, like, it always struck me as, like, here's a thing associated with my past that I don't care for. But yeah, been getting more interested in it recently. Please miss. Thank you. Man, those hydro presses are just... big ol' clench of the butt every time that ends up deciding to almost hit. Because we can... like, last time we made it through all of this, and then it just took a big old pile of those, and we were just dead. So yeah, this is not called the impossible run for nothing. So I decided to take the step forward there to try to hopefully lure him around the circle. Unfortunately, I am a little bit too fast right now. Not liking how many mending seeds I got left. How are we looking? Got 4 dragons left, 1 melee. These 2 friggin' walking apocalypses back here, and then the archer. So bear in mind, if these 2 both show up at the same time, and they both decide, hey, it's time for this guy to die, there's just not too much I can do. Both got Abyss, both got Arrow Flux. Actually, she's gonna have, what's it, like, Freeze Over or whatever? Plasma Veil? Plasma Veil and Ice Requiem, there we go. Alright, let's move back here. Alright, let's just pop a Fortify. It's not going to help too much, but it's there. But yeah, no, if you've never tried, like, most people, I would assume, have not tried Lithuanian food, it's interesting. Like, the amount of stuff that you can do with what would essentially be considered garbage is really something else. Like, okay, so I was talking about those AoE 2 bonuses, and so yeah, their whole thing is that they started with a whole bunch of extra food, so yeah, my immediate joke was, oh, haha, you know, look, it's those holidays that that they expected everyone to eat friggin' over a dozen courses of everything and just assume it was fine. But yeah, it turns out no. Apparently, it was one of the most fertile land chunks in history for a little bit there. It was like around the early medieval period or whatever else. I guess they had some like interesting mix of European and tropical climates for a while, which was just kind of interesting. So I'm waiting for this guy to get close and get into the poison here. Archer guy, not too worried about him right now. Come on, dragon. There we go. Yeah, it's a good dragon. So now I can actually run up and poke the guy a bunch. And then hopefully he'll go for a disembowel, hopefully he'll miss. And hopefully one of these guys drops some mending seeds or something. Because there's not really a whole lot I can do if those run out. I mean, for the next fight, I can push most of the enemies off of cliffs, so there isn't too much of a worry there. And as long as I'm not moving too far... Like, the White Knight's whole thing is that they're not super slow, but their movement is trash. So... Right, that was lucky. That was very, very lucky. So, Mr. Cerebo, how many versions do you think are left in that one? Like, are you just gonna continue going on with it, or do you think it's kind of where you want it to be by this point? Oh, hang on. Got a call. Alrighty, back to it. I mean, on the plus side, with this whole slower input thing, I think some folks might appreciate that I'm not spazzing about all over the place. We'll see. We'll see. Normally I'm doing like 1 billion inputs a second. They're like, oh my god, how do you freaking keep up with it? And like, because I've been playing this crap for 10 years. So keep minor updates to keep closing in on the bounds of useful things. Like Mimes got a nice buff. Oh? Did they get nicer berets? Monsters in the deep dungeon are the most unpolished stuff. Well, dang it. Gotta go fix all those minor samurais. Alrighty, and back. Alright, so we should be able to get the double stab off on this guy. Ooh, don't even need it. Okay, perfect. Go ahead and drop a fervor. Make this guy go away. Int card. Actually, that's an MP card. Yeah, I really don't need MP. Like, maybe down the line MP will be useful, but I'm thinking, like, as far as stats go, that's not really something I need to focus much on. Oh, dang it, everyone's calling me today. Okay, and back, yeah. Had a call from work real quick. Okie dokie. So, what do we want to do here? Probably drop down another Fortify, just in case we're about to get hit by anything serious. Alright, let's see. Got the random battles to be perfect. Ooh. Perfect, you say? Alright, looking forward to that. See, they're probably broken out now. Chapter 1, there's only one formation unlocked for enemies. Chapter 2 unlocks a second, and so 50-50 for each type. By 4, you have 50% chance for the 4 battles, which have humans and Tier 3 monsters, and the Chapter 1 formations are rare in Chapter 4. Nice. Sounds like you got it all figured out. Alright, I'm gonna try to hold back a couple turns here, because I don't want to step forward too far and get aggro from... Yeah, I don't think they're gonna move. Alright, let's go here. Gotta deal with that dang old Durgan over there. Dang Durgans. Thinking this is probably the better option here. So put on sidestep, that should help to deal with some of their incoming. Probably if we get in range for a ranged finisher, then that'll be an issue too. So, let's see. Added 2 new special events, one of which you're passed in Chapter 3. What kind of events? Do they give you some kind of chocolates or something? I don't know. It's mysterious. I can't parry a disembowel. I mean, how can you not parry a dragon? Come on. It's just a dragon. Decent chance to dodge that. New battles and battle phases? What do you mean by battle phases? Like, does everybody switch modes or something? Is that... I never knew that you could do that. Seems like that's gonna be a running theme. Oh, crap, I missed one. Please miss! Oh, okay. Alright. I need that archer dealt with, I need this guy dealt with. I don't want to waste an item. I do need to delay these guys a little bit, though. So we're going to drop... If we drop one right here, that should delay the white dragon by a couple turns. And then we have one more in the bank as far as phalanxes go. Parry, come on, good job. Okay, this is looking alright. Yeah, he's... Come on, please miss. Okay, good. Yeah, those phalanxes do a real wonder for messing with their aggro. Come on, miss. Man, ever since they changed that to accuracy and damage, man, that move is way more threatening. Right, let's drop this here. That should put him down in melee only. No, he's got boulders, so we got sidestep against that. So the guy's gonna go melee, he's got nothing going for him, so we can take a safe heal here. We should be well defended against everything. So, well, like Bilius is a two-phase boss, P1 Regraph, P2 Bilius. Okay, gotcha. Gotcha. So yeah, so there's random battles with phases now? Come on, block. Good. Parry. Dang it. Yeah, the last update definitely gave a lot of strength to those heavy shields. Alright. No finisher, no finisher. Anybody else within range? No, and the forbidden mages are way the hell down there. Alright, so we can get rid of this guy. It's risky. If they get a bunch of crits, we're in severe trouble. Slash, it might just be over, but I think we should be okay. With a quicken, we should be more than fast enough. Oh, added story content? Okay. That sounds awesome. Alright. At least the nice thing about all these guys being zombies is, worst case scenario, I can run up and throw rocks forever. It's not like they can do much about it. Like I said, this entire fight just entirely broke down into figuring out how to get it all stable. Alright, I'm gonna go here. This should give him a bad angle for his whiteout. Actually, if I throw a phalanx right here, it should force him to attack from the front. It should give him a really bad angle for his whiteout. Plus we get a little bit of extra avoidance. It probably isn't even one stat point, but oh well. Ooh, and actually a tremendous shot here would be perfect. Good, good, good. Never been so happy to get hit by a guaranteed crit. Basically, right now, since he's at the point where he's definitely got a finisher in the bank, I want him to use Whiteout instead of using Disembowel, because there's a much higher chance of that missing. There we are. Please miss. Okay, because yeah, he's got about a 30% chance to hit with that. Meanwhile, Disembowel would have 98 or higher. Didn't really need that getting crit out of a 25%, but oh well. Yeah, we can just throw this one out there. I took off TP Plus for this one because max damage isn't going to be as much of a feature. Being able to use Ruination at 200 is good enough, because I can at least get that 100 extra damage off that. Like I said, it's good enough. It'll at least be an attack that doesn't add to his TP pool, so handy there. Alright. Should be good there. Really, you can do a whiteout already? Well, that's good. This is making me think of the speedrun of Monster Rancher I was watching yesterday. That's, they had like 90% of the thing was just avoiding 2% hits that somehow still kept coming. Like, I kid you not, in the course of a fight there, they just keep missing. Like, I think of their 80%, they missed like 60% of their 80%, but then they got hit by 2%, they got hit by 17 to 20% constantly. Man, whoever made the RNG for that game is a douche. Like, there's no way those numbers were accurate. Alright, so there's Ferber. Goodbye, Minestrone the Dragon. Alright, that leaves the 2 Forbidden Mages, 1 more Dragon, and 1 more Zombie Archer. And, like, here's the thing. They're low on health. I've got healing items. I've got options for most of this stuff. I'm still going to sit here and charge up a full 200 TP. Because the only way to deal with those mages there is just going to be to run up and either hit the entirety of them with Charybdis, or we're going to have to just like run up and snipe one of them, because we're looking at easily like 600 damage they can still dish out, because it's about 150 or so, 150 to 200 that the forbidden moves can do, range of 4 with an AoE. This one can potentially do up to 200 with their move. It's Fault Line, I think. Yeah. So they've got Fault Line, they've got Ogre. They're going to be doing a solid chunk of ouch with that. And then we got another 80 from this Archer. Not super amazing, but very accurate. But I think what I can do here is go for the poison setup. Yeah. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that one. We're going to get these guys over. We're going to try to bring one in, drop a Phalanx behind them, deal with them, then they deal with the next one. Because the only reason they're not aggroing right now is because they can't path to me. And this is probably why Rampart Shadows were so friggin' ungodly expensive in the original game. Because you could completely break the AI with this stuff under certain circumstances. And, like, all things considered, it's not like it's something that guarantees a win either. It's just, they just act like there's a wall there, which there is. But anyway, so there we go. Dragon's gonna come up. If the dragon's out of the way, I can somewhat safely fight the other two. It's just the combination of all of them. The fact that they can effectively combine all their damage for a, like, guaranteed insta-kill, that's just not fun, you know? And we were one tile too close. So we'll just let them all walk through the poison here. Unfortunately, I don't have a regen. That'd be another really big benefit to having the priest. Like, we'd lose a lot of damage and all that, but being able to regenerate would save so much effort. So you think of any videos of some of the story event changes I made? Yeah, I saw some of them, yeah. I didn't see... I think the last one was from a couple months ago, wasn't it? Alright, so I want this guy to keep getting poisoned. Question is, can I drop a Phalanx behind him right now? Yes, okay. We'll remove that Phalanx later. Frickin' kaboom! The unfortunate part about Abyss is, yeah, there go all my Phalanxes. Thankfully that one missed. But yeah, they're just gonna be able to spam that stuff like nobody's business right now. All that I'm really trying to do is get this dragon out of the way. We're still potentially in the danger zone here. I actually don't want to attack him. Probably should have dropped one directly behind him to block the casters, but I want to take a heal instead. Because what I'm hoping for is about 2 to 3 turns, finishing off this dragon here. He should go for another melee. There we go. So it takes 4 more hits to finish him off. Yeah, her basic attack should do next to nothing. Throw this out there. Now we're going to take a step back, try to bait him into doing Fault Line again. And hopefully he'll miss, because we're on a good evasion tile. There we go. Perfect. 1 melee here, and then he should run up and do another attack. He might do another Fault Line here. If he does, that's a problem. Ew. Ew! Get that consistent damage out of here. Either way, we can have this dragon going. It's like, as long as we're not within insta-kill range of everybody, I'm gonna feel a lot better about this. And I'm gonna feel real dumb if we get through all of it, and then it turns out that we're, you know, we still can't do it. Inferior ore. Yeah, a lot of the vests are in dragons. So, the reason I'm not going for specific drops, all these fights are way too specific to even try going for, like, getting every single drop that I want to get. It's just, it just would suck. So instead, I'm just going for whatever I happen to get, and going for some very specific items. There we go, use our 1 crystallized flame, get a little bit of resilience going. Continue baiting this guy in here, because I want to drag one of them within the barricade. Get the other one stuck. Alright, there goes his whop. Yeah, he keeps getting shots through, which is kind of annoying here. What I should have done is, instead of standing right there, I should have moved right here. Bear in mind, at any point he can also just decide, hey, it's time for petrification, and then the fight's just over. Why do they have Apocrypha? Yeah, goodbye to all my items. I can drop a Charybdis here, but unfortunately that leaves me in range of the other one then. So we're going to take some steps back. The absolute ideal here would be if they all decide to run into the poison tiles, take another couple turns of poison damage. Then I can just run up and finish them all off with a Giga Tempest. It's like, these are the situations that skill was made for. Staying awkwardly out of their range. It's like, you can see, by this point, Resilience is taking, like, barely anything off. think this is one tile out of range. 190, 190. Oof, it's so close. It's probably worth it because I'm not getting any extra damage off this. And they probably won't line themselves up like this again. Katsuyo's strengthened card, so that'll leave her down. Leave him pretty much crippled. Then we take about a 200 from him, presumably. Let's see if I have an issue with that one. I think what we're gonna do. I was worried about saving the card here. Let's put on strengthen. And then we're gonna move right back here. The archer should be forced to take at least a couple steps forward. I want the casters to move slightly up. Let's see. So, what are Rake's thoughts on this impossible run? He seemed to think it was entirely impossible, too. And, so far we're doing okay. So, that's good. Alright, that's 202. Corruptus will give me 192. If I move here, they might try to get within range. If I waste a healing item here, I might be able to avoid wasting future ones, because I should be able to just charge straight through these guys. Try to get within range. They don't want to. She does for some reason, which is okay by me. Alright, as long as strengthen doesn't wear off here, we're good. Come on, don't wear off. Don't wear off, don't wear off, don't wear off, don't wear off. Alright. It's fine. Take your poison damage, you do your wops. Alright, moment of truth. They're both lined up? Good. Alright, Giga Tempest. Kill, kill. Checkmate! Bam! That only took 3 streams to get done. Suck it, zombies. Yeah, that... Oh, man, that sucked. I know it's just coins. Give me an elemental vest, come on! So the problem is, I basically ran into an unusual situation here. Yes, yes, save that mess. Here, let me double-check the, Let me double-check the drop list here, make sure that I know what enemy I'm looking for. Because all of this was for a pair of frickin' shoes. Alright. So yeah, we get the shoes, then we can have both stun immunity and the ability to move around the map unhindered. Mostly, anyway. Basically, the differences between warp and flight, for any that don't remember, warp is able to go straight through walls and things like that, but it is hindered by rampart aura and can get ruined by leaden and stuff like that. Flight ignores rampart aura and ignores height entirely. So warp, for example, increases your height by 8, but it doesn't. It can't completely ignore it. So flight is technically better under most circumstances, but also can get leadened and can't fly anymore. So you got to go to a work meeting. Okay. Well, thank you for stopping by, Mr. Cerebro. You have yourself a good meeting. Alright, what do we got here? It's my notepad reminding me to do stuff today. Okay, well, I do stuff. Alright. Alright, winged boots. Where are you? Let's see here. Sorry, like, the one the one thing that effectively tells you every drop in the game that I've been able to find is this guy that, for whatever reason, runs through through Neoseeker, which inexplicably needs to load everything through a freakishly long process. A little bit of a pain to actually get here. Let's see. House of the Dead, level 9, 2832 Archer. Alright. This is not the map I thought it was by any stretch of the imagination. So let's hope that I have enough items after all that nonsense to actually get through this, even. Because I've only got 3 heals, so I guess we're doing this. Optionally speaking, I guess I could also try to go for the Spell Blade. Could also potentially go for the Terror Knight. Boy, it'd be weird to actually bring in the Terror Knight this late in the game, but alright. You want to use this party? Hell yeah, I do. Let's see what we're dealing with. So, mash the pause button. If it's going to be... Actually, this is mostly living units, so that should be a lot easier. Probably better to have the warp ring. Let's see here. What are our coordinates? 28302. So presumably not going to be elevation. Not really sure what they're referring to as 28302 here. I mean, presumably that's the level that you need for them to spawn. Yeah, I would assume so. So 302. So that's this archer way back here, Bruce. So we'll go ahead and drop a save there then, actually, because we got the guy that we need. Would you like to save? Heck yeah. Alright, back to it. And yeah, these wing boots more than likely are going to be something I'm not going to take off for the whole rest of the run. Because, quite frankly, it is... the ability to fly is, as one would expect, incredibly useful. Better than teleportation. Like, they're affected by the same movement issues. So, functionally speaking, there's little reason to... This is going to seem weird, but I'm going to put a phalanx over there, because I don't want to run into issues with stuff flying around the back. It's unlikely that it'll block them, but whatever. Anyhow. But yeah, so flight is just generally less restricted than warp. The main thing the warp has is just it can go directly through walls, which doesn't come up very often. There's a few cases where it's going to be useful, but generally speaking, not so much. I would have liked for that to miss, but oh well. Mr. Ghost, you are goodbye. Let's go ahead and fervorize. Yeah, just a regular old Damask shield. Now, I believe Curse turns off parry as well. I forgot to update the guide with that info. But yeah, Curse is kind of funky like that. Should probably double check if it actually ever says it. Yeah, max HP and MP are reduced, but it also prevents counterattack, and I believe it gets rid of parry temporarily. But I'm not super positive on that one. Alright, so I'm going to move here. I'll kind of force him to... Basically either force him to attack from the front or take a poison tile. So it looks like he opted for the poison tile. Good. That'll reduce his accuracy by a ton. Oh no? Yeah? Well, we only had this for a few minutes, right? Yeah. You want yogurt? Yes, ma'am. Excuse me, I need to go retrieve some yogurt. Alright, so far so good. It's 1v, like, 8 or so, if I'm counting this right. Yeah, so 1v8, currently already got one of theirs down, about to have another one down. It just depends on whether or not they get any of their moves off, and it doesn't look like they will. There we go. Goodbye, Monsieur Griffon. Unfortunately, Curse did reduce health by a decent chunk. Double Beast Hide drop. Right, if these guys want to just hang out on those poison tiles, I'm certainly not going to complain about that. Now, a couple things I want to check. So first off, up height is 2. Levitate would give us +1. There's no way we can make that jump. It's 3 down, though. I think Levitate will give us 2 down. Should allow us to make that drop. We'll see. Might have to get crit down there. That guy's our target. I mean, I guess technically speaking, what I could do, could just wait for the archer to come up, get his drop, and then just kind of leave it on fast forward until they step on poison tiles long enough to just die. I can't attack that. Yeah, unless I had warp, there's no way I could get down there. Alright, simple enough. That's what we'll do then. Because yeah, he's the only one that can get to us for the moment. So he'll keep charging up. And yeah, as long as we can lock him in here, should be all good to go. So far, that Hydra's the only one that hasn't stepped on a poison tile at any point. And yeah, I don't know, in general, Palace of the Dead has a lot of places that it's kind of questionable what the hell they were thinking with the map design. Like in this case, what happened here? Like, there's a pathway along the top. Okay, sure. Like, the one area of the map that technically doesn't seem like it's meant for anyone to be walking on is the only one that we're spawning in on. Like, why? Why can't we spawn up on the walkway or anything else? Like, I'm pretty sure it's because they have to deploy it in a grid, but then just why not make an area up there, you know? It's not like this map was in the original. They had full say over what they could do here. And unfortunately, the Purify method won't work. So in that case, I gotta get crit off the edge here. Oh, that is frustrating. Yeah, our one hope here is for the archer. Did he come with Tremendous Shot? Yes, okay. So he has to turn on Tremendous Shot, fly behind us, hit us in the back, then we can continue with the rest of the fight. Other than that, we're gonna have to redo it and hope that he shows up. Thanks for your advanced Draconics that I can't do anything about right now. Actually, if one of these monster units were to get close, I might be able to hop on their head. Alright. If I go here, I might be able to target the snake. Rude. What if I move back here? Like, maybe I can bait them all into getting close and just one-shot them or something? I don't have TP+, so that's going to be a bit of a thing. She should be out of Life Giver uses now. I think that only has two uses. She's just going to run around spamming her Draconics. Alright, can't one-shot. But she's silenced, and I believe she's their only healer. What is wrong with you? Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to come back with a warp. Map designers, why did you do this? Yeah, I don't even have... I don't even have a throwing rock. Alright. Alright. Let's go ahead and reload that fight. So instead of this, need the Sidhi, which puts us in a little bit of a rougher spot. I almost want to go Worm Scale for this one, because that is a lot of extra Vit. And the more Vit we get, the better we can do against all those Draconics, because them suckers are nearly unavoidable. And yeah, they hit like a truck. So this is going to ruin our speed something fierce. But yeah, hopefully we can just kind of tank it out. Because the fewer units there are, the better armor does. So in this case, we're already up to over 600 health, and yeah, should be able to resist everything to a pretty strong degree. Right, that time he didn't spawn. Hi there, Shimmigan. How's it going? Yeah, doesn't look like we got our spawn this time. Actually, wait a minute. Wait a freaking minute. Okay, that is not the right one. Good. Why Palace of the Dead now? I need wing boots. So basically what, I'm trying to gather a few things while they're easier, technically speaking, to get right now. So, in order to have the highest hit potential that I can get, I need to be able to get through Farampa and to get to about a couple maps before the end of the place. So that'll end up dropping the 2H Enchiridion, but I can't quite get there because I want both Katana Enchiridions, and I want the two-handed sword Enchiridion from there. Now bear in mind that those actually might end up moving over the course of this run, since he has been going through and adjusting a few things here and there. I don't believe he's gotten to anything with Farampa yet, but crafting books are actually guaranteed drops now, so that's nice. But no, but yeah, I'm basically getting wing boots. I have a warp ring, but that'll only get me so far. Wing boots are basically needed in order to be able to get to certain elevations on certain maps, as well as getting away from, basically being able to get away from being surrounded. Because I want to have a build that can essentially fly into a group, like let's say do a Whip Armageddon, and then be able to fly back out again. That would be useful in some cases. Having a flying tank is useful in some cases. It's just there's a lot of things that flight will generally be the best for. So this looks like the guy that we need. So we'll go ahead and drop the save right there to make sure that we have it. Which, by the way, I mentioned this before. For mid-battle saves, when it comes to this kind of stuff where we just want a particular unit to spawn, in the interest of saving time, I'm just going to do a mid-battle save, because this is the fight that we're going to do. It doesn't give me any actual advantage. It's just, it saves time. But anyhow, so what we're going to do, I'm going to go ahead and get this warp going. So warp increases your vertical range by 8, but it doesn't completely avoid elevation. So like right here, this is just barely possible. In most cases, you would be looking for situations like this, where you can basically just hop on and do a bunch of short hops to get where you need to go. It's really kind of more of a hop skill than a warp. It just happens to be able to go through walls. Anyhow, so, this is the map where the boots drop. Floor 8 was an absolute doozy, and I'm not looking forward to doing that again, but it'll be easier later. So, we specifically needed the high-level version of this map. That's why we're doing the high-level version now. Once we go through to get crafting books and go through to actually get through the Palace of the Dead, I'm going to be going through with Lord and Priest. Both of them have a much easier time when it comes to exorcism and things like that. This one was freakishly difficult to get through, and I basically have 3 healing items left to pull off this fight. It's not looking super difficult, as I should be able just to overwhelm a lot of things. In fact, I can probably get rid of, if this one doesn't succeed, I can probably go back and bring on TP Plus again. Get an extra 75 damage on those finishers. Anyhow. Actually, Consecrate Edge would be incredibly handy. Why didn't I do that? We're gonna try it once without it, but we're probably gonna end up using Consecrate Edge. Just because I really don't have too much damage going on. Probably best bet would be to go for the casters first. Warp's gonna wear off in just a minute here. Actually, yeah, taking the upper route's just a bad idea in general, because I get bogged down. Alright. We're gonna go for that other setup. Because phalanxes are not gonna help me much here. And I mentioned this earlier, but yeah, my inputs are a little bit slow right now because my controller is gone. So we're just doing keyboard for now. Until I can figure out how to get that working again. Alright. But this is why I need... It's just funny how this is all tying together, though, because, like, right now is exactly why I needed, what's it? Exactly why I needed this, this worm scale armor earlier. It's like, yes, I ended up getting more along the way, but I would not have been able to get this far without it. Probably replace Rampart with something else. Let's see here. Yeah, probably TP Plus. By the way, the keyboard clacks aren't coming through too loud, are they? Because I like my clacky keyboard, but I know it can be a little bit annoying sometimes. Especially for a situation where clacks are not normally expected. Alright. Did we get our spawn? I don't think so. No. Realistically, I can probably go in with two-handers, too. Actually, I forgot to explain that earlier. So, when it comes to, like, the super high-level versions here, I'm mostly locked into spears and two-handers, if I want to actually do anything effective. At least for the moment. Like, I have proficiencies and, well, maxed out proficiencies and everything else, too, but mostly it's just because I have an elemental version, so I can boost it to the point of doing insta-kill damage. It's like, if I have something that is getting benefits from both Augs and TP+, then that's kind of what I want to be using. And so both Spears and Two-Handers have that option right now. Once we get the Lombardia, and/or once we get the Brynhildr, One-Handers will become, well, will become amazing again. We're very close to getting the Lombardia right now. It's actually one more story beat to be able to get to that. But right now, we got to get those boots in order to be able to go do Pirate's Graveyard, in order to be able to go do, in order to go get the Buccaneer and take care of the boss there. To then be able to take care of, and by the way, we got our mid-battle save to set up here. But yeah, then we get Buccaneer, we get that boss crossed off the list, then we just never touch Pirate's Graveyard again. And then, well, actually, we're going to have to later. It's just we won't have Azelston at that point. So yeah, we finish Pirate's Graveyard, And then we should be good from there, I think. I'm gonna go set up my Consecrate early here. It's a bit of a waste of an expensive item, but I want to get this Griffin gone before he has the ability to do anything useful. So that'll give us a few extra points. We're going to get a counter on the Griffin, which should then hopefully potentially take enough damage for us to be able... Yeah, that should put us over 100. We should be able to Ruinate. He should hopefully be forced to take... Oh, no. No! Friggin' slow. Never mind. Never mind, that plan just went out the window real fast. So, because we got a slow ghost, we gotta back up. Which is actually fine, because there's only 3 enemies that can reach us right now. One of which won't bother to do so for a while. Yeah, do it. Do it! Same thing as before, we're gonna go ahead and go this way. Forcing him to take a poison tile. Ruins his accuracy a little bit, and he's finished off now. From here, the ghost should try to get close to us, at which point we can go ahead and hopefully double stab that guy. Hopefully he'll go for a book again. Oh, we actually have the points to just Ruinate the ghost. He's right at the edge there, so if we can one-shot him, it is worth taking him out. Yeah, not sure what their plan is exactly. Right. Yeah, we can Ruinate him. So just go over here. Then hopefully we'll get shot by the archer, which will give us the TP to be able to turn off the ghost, which will then give us haste, which will get rid of slow, which will then do other good stuff. Worst case scenario, we have a ghost with no MP. Not the end of the world. Just kind of a waste of a meter. Yeah, those guys can't even do anything. Very good, give me that shot. No! I needed my ghost inoculation, what are you doing? Yeah, they literally can do nothing here. Alright, we've got a ranged finisher coming in pretty soon. So I'm just going to go ahead and turn on the ashes here. Nothing we can do about the ghost for this second. Gonna go pick up that bag just in case it happens to be an elemental vest. It's unlikely, but I'm not gonna bother to go and check every single one. I always wind up with about 3 or 4 coming out of this place, so I'm just gonna assume it's fine. Come on, crit. Alright, and then we'll turn on Consecrate Edge next time. Or actually 2 turns from now. I really don't need it right now. Rude. Rude! Yeah, none of them can really do very much, and the archers will do next to nothing. Alright, double B-sides doesn't really help us too much. Nightshade, might be able to craft that into something. Probably wouldn't hurt to have some anti-venom. Alright, we got slowed, but we should be able to stab and fervor, which will hopefully, well, not hopefully, that would basically allow us to get rid of that slow immediately. I should probably put a little section in the guide kind of pointing out that, that you can get rid of certain accuracy debuffs by just turning on the opposite thing. Just like earlier, getting rid of stagger. Or, actually no, getting rid of full strike by turning on ranged accuracy. There we go. Death by space lasers. Oh, what's up, Mr. Man? What you up to? Alright, well, you just go have your Cheerios then, Mr. Sir. Archer guy, we can save for now. No real need to worry about him too much. Realistically, they don't even have a healer, as far as I can tell. Berserker, Berserker, Archer, Hydra, Hoplite. Yeah, they don't have one at all. Oh, that thing is loud. Alright. Throw Charybdis out here. And I think I'm gonna have to step away for a quick moment to go let the puppy out. So I'm gonna go let them take their next turn, and I'll be right back. Alright, so, got a warp ring. Let's go ahead and go over here. Yeah, I gotta say, the vanilla solo run, so I still haven't done the commentary for the last half of that one. I don't know why, there's just the motivation to actually go through it is just not there. But yeah. I think that was the only time that I've ever had a reason to use double warp items. There's one fight in particular for Palace of the Dead that I needed warp so many times that I just had to run City and Boots and Ring at the same time. Which, yeah, was kind of not expecting that one. But still gonna finish it at some point. I don't know when that some point's gonna be, but eventually there'll be both time and motivation to get it done. Alright, Shankify the Dude Man. Crap. Well, time to redo the fight. Dang it. The downside of the no Chariot rule. But, you know, see, that's what I like about the way that Ovi's doing, though. With their Ovi's handling all of it. Because for all intents and purposes, like, the Chariot thing is such a weird feature. Because it's in there, like, the whole idea of it in the first place was that they wanted to avoid frustrations for people as much as possible for this one. But they, so they basically put in a feature there that let you reset and do whatever whenever you wanted. Like, you just instant baby mode, just go and redo anything as long as you've got any odds whatsoever. You can, you know, you can cheese it out. But the problem was that then they And they also decided to basically roll with that as the new norm and set it up, set the rest of the game up in such a way that they could get away with annoying mechanics, like, you know, stuff not dropping when it should. So yeah, original SNES version, if there was a unique item, they always dropped it. Like, they always carried the item, they always dropped it. Did you finally get warp boots? I'm not going for warp boots. We'll get warp boots probably second or third time through Palace of the Dead. Right now we're getting flight boots, which are on this map, and I just restarted this fight because I accidentally killed off the guy and with a crit, and he dropped a card. So that sucked real bad. But yeah, it's the archer in this map that has the boots. He is the boots man. And so yeah, we'll get to that pretty soon. But yeah, we finally got through that last fight. That was a doozy. All right. But yeah, we have only 3 healing items to get through this one. Yeah, no, I mean, eventually we're probably going for both. If I remember correctly, the warp boots have the better stats in OV, but the flight boots are just the far more useful buff. And yeah, in vanilla there was really no reason to use either of them, because you could just get warp off of cards, and flight you could just get a flying unit, who cares? But yeah. Alright, get rid of that guy, that's a Wheel of Fortune, that's a good card. Yeah, Wheel of Fortune's like friggin' gold in vanilla though. It's like, would you love to have the ability to teleport from your very first fight? Like, yeah? That's not busted at all. Actually, I remember being pretty confused because I thought I accomplished some hidden objective or something like that, looking through the cards through the first time. Like, oh, you know, there's a strength in here. You can get that for absolutely cheap from the store. Like, oh, there's this other item. You know, you can get this other stuff from it. Oh, wait, what's this? Like, oh, I can phase through reality. One of these is better than the others, especially when one of them is Healcraft. Which, yeah, in the most recent version, Healcraft actually got added to Mother's Blessing, so that, you know, it does it a little bit better. Because there's no reason to ever use Healcraft by itself. Which is really weird, considering that one of the friggin' expensive as hell Draconic abilities in the base game was Healcraft. And it made me wonder over and over, like, what was their original plan with this? Because the skill is such garbage! Or the ability, yeah, the ability there. It's such complete and utter unforgivable trash. It makes you wonder what they originally planned to do with it. Because yeah, for any folks here that either like aren't familiar, don't know, whatever else, all it does is it adds like 5 to your healing, but only specifically light-based healing. So just the main heal abilities and the AoE versions. It will not add it for anything else. Why? Who friggin' knows? Like, it's completely worthless, it's a waste of a turn. For some reason, it's really highly valued by the AI, because if they've got warlocks and stuff running around, they will gladly spam that mess on everything that can heal. And, who knows why? It'll never make the difference. Like, if 5 health is the thing making the difference, you got a whole lot of other problems going on. But yeah. It's weird, man. Like, I think it must have scaled originally. Like, my assumption is that maybe it was supposed to add 5% healing or something, and then it doesn't do anything, and maybe they just put the wrong formula in, or who knows. But apparently it's hard locked as it is. You can't really do anything with it. Let's go ahead and consecrate, and let's go ahead and re-up our warp here. Actually, no, let's not re-up our warp, because we might need it later. We should have one more turn of warp. Oh, and also a lot of buffs well, a lot of buffs got buffed. Like, for example, the warp, I believe, actually lasts several more turns now, instead of just disappearing after 2. Suppose we can take care of these 2 right now. Oh. Well, that's not very useful, is it? Oh well, that's fine. They'll go do their finishers now. Perhaps might have misthought that one a little bit. Definitely should have just taken the upper route. That's fine. This isn't a terribly difficult fight. Anyhow, how's stuff been, Mr. Evan? How's your day going? How is your existence existing? Do a few quick heals. Hopefully should just be able to trounce these guys and be on with it. Parry? No parry. Yeah, sword guy is a little bit threatening. Look up due to rain and achy joints. Dang arthritis. But yeah, achy joints are never fun. It's kind of screwy that the rain. Well, I mean, it makes sense why rain triggers it, but just like from a the world should be balanced better perspective, always feels kind of screwy. Dang it, this guy is really something here. I forget if the Froggerok gives you a bonus to your parry. I feel like it should. I mean, it is a pretty much parrying sword for all intents and purposes, and he's got another Russian Gale. Are we done with all those moves? Do I turn yet? Might have to take a safety retreat here real quick. Now we'll do something different. I'm gonna stick into it one more turn here. But no, I was saying the Froggerok. That would be this thing. The wind sword. This was originally the lightning fencing sword, which it gives stagger. I feel like it should give a parry for flavor reasons. I don't remember if the original did that or why I'm thinking that exactly. But I mean, it's a fencing sword. It feels like it should. I'm sure it is. I'd appreciate it if you missed it, though. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Please parry this. Thank you. Alright, that guy's almost toast. Just gonna go ahead and use the Sid here. And then we're just gonna warp it on over this way. Mostly because I've only got one healing item, so that leaves me with 450 health to pull this off. We're going to continue taking Plank from the Archer the entire time, but he does pretty much nothing. Like, it's just scratch damage. I just wanted to get a little bit of damage out there so that we'd be able to pull this back a little ways. Let's take a quick warp up here. Because I need to go attack from the other end here. And this is why we'll be like running Priest or Lord or whatever else later. Because it really, really, really would be nice to be able to do some better stuff with all that. Just regenerate would help so very much. I guess it all comes down to whether or not I can use Last Rites on the Lord there, because I can't remember exactly which of the abilities can do that. Another Charybdis on you, or a Giga Tempest, or anything? Okay, I guess I can do absolutely nothing here. We'll do sidestep. Maybe we can avoid some of those arrows. Hopefully they'll take some poison tiles. think I might have played this a little bit wrong. What I should have done is gone and attacked from the back from the get-go. And yeah, it would have given us a decent bit of better odds. It's fine, though. It's fine. What we need is Fortify, though. Do I have one of those? There we go. It also would have helped if they didn't roll 3 of their parries. But whatever, that happens. Alright, one moment. Alrighty, and back. Huh. Yeah, it would be good to deal with the archer, but can't quite do that yet. If we throw Charybdis out, that'll do 125. Kill off that guy, take out the... slow down this one. Good call. From here, we'll need to turn on dodge instead of sidestep. So what I was hoping for... Now what I was hoping for is to be able to avoid the bow finisher here, which he'll probably use now. And there we go, at least gives a chance to dodge it. Not a very good chance, but hey. Moan... Nah. Got hit by Leaden. Yeah, we're probably done here. That's fine. Just need to handle it a little differently. Even though the odds are basically none, I want to at least try to see what happens here. It's not actually a terribly difficult fight. Just need to not run into the middle of them and have them parry everything that I was throwing out there. As that, like the one guy that we had to use the different finisher to take out, probably could have taken him out earlier. Or just been easier in general. So I think the way we're going to handle this... yeah, we're going to use that ginseng right off the bat. Take the griffin out early. Take it out one attack early. And then we'll go ahead and warp and take the upper route. At which point we'll just go ahead and probably move it down like here-ish, so that they aren't attacking from multiple angles. At which point we just fight them one at a time. Turn on Consecrate Edge. Feeling all holy and edgy. Good, take your poison tile. Get that parry. Get that hit. We get a crit anywhere here, he's pretty much just gone. Really don't like that ghost. He is pretty douchey as far as ghosts go. Actually, we can't take that upper route option until we deal with him, because he's just going to keep hitting us with that. Do the same thing. Go here, force him to take bad tiles. And he's done for. Alright. Let's go ahead and leave those beast hides and stuff, as that probably is down on the ground. Then go get our wingling booties. Mr. Ghost, why are you such a terrible person? That thing that sounds like a pig is actually my dog, by the way. Alright, we're just gonna wait. Ghost is gonna try to get close, probably. Probably should have taken a couple tiles farther away. Don't want to waste the warp just yet. I really feel like the warp items and flight items and whatever else, like, they really need one more, you know? Feels weird how they've only got 2. Well, the boots have 3, the rings have 2. Now, I forget if that stuff's hard-coded or not, because I think it might have been. Alright, so they value Curse highly, so he's probably going to go for the book finisher. There we go. Please don't run away. Be a good Mr. Ghost and don't run away. You're a douche. Right. So that bag is not worth the trouble. Unfortunately, yeah, we end up losing a huge chunk of our health. End up losing one of our healing items effectively to that finisher. It doesn't really do much damage, but it takes off so much extra health. They're gonna snipe us with a tornado. That dang tornado. And I guess, yeah, we don't really have to take that back route. Realistically, we can just turn on sidestep here. And just keep throwing out long-range finishers on these guys. Yeah, let's do that. Unfortunately, we don't get as much scaling damage off this one because we don't have Aug Fire on right now. But yeah, that's fine. They're going to wear themselves down with poison tiles and things like that. I just figured I had a full thing, so I might as well. And you douche. Okay. And then once we get this, we can go ahead and leave and finally do the Azelston thing. That is to say, Azelston Part 3. At which point we should hopefully be able to sell all the crap that we got from here and have enough money to be able to pull it off. If not, we'll probably be running Tynemouth a few times. See what we end up doing there. And then, yeah, we'll just finisher snipe the rest of these guys. Really shouldn't have been trying to go for anything fancy. Because I have enough health to kind of last them out if they've got nothing to do. I can last out the archer for quite a while. But I don't want to really mess with the other stuff. Turn on Resilient, so that hopefully he decides to attack with his book. And if you're wondering, yeah, the only reason this wouldn't have worked the first time around is because they had a healer. Use one of our warps. Go get all close to this guy. He's probably going to have to take one of the tiles around us to be able to still have a shot. We'll see if he does. Good enough. So we're just gonna have to put up with the ghost for a minute. I should be able to go finish off the archer, and at least get a decent scratch off on him. Or I guess we have the opportunity to take out the ghost. So I should probably do that right now, because we can get rid of slow at the same time. Poke. Oh, piss off. You're kidding me right now, man. Yeah, you can't crit any other time, but you crit him when it moves him too far away. Get out of here. Yeah, the game loves to do that kind of stuff. Which I guess is fun whenever it's a crit near a cliff, but yeah. In this case, we end up taking some extra hits before we can do anything about it on a bad evasion tile. Because the ghost had to fall off a cliff. And he might actually just get right back up before we can even move. Okay, thankfully he didn't. And we can still use Fervor from up here with our space lasers. Alright. So far, so good. So that's alright. They're gonna back off and go do their thing. Archer guy is being weird. Okay, fine, whatever. More pins. That is very annoying. The rest I don't gotta worry about much, but I gotta deal with that archer. And he's gonna be a massive pain to actually reach. And I don't want to use my last warp here, because if that runs out and we're in a bad spot, well, we're screwed. There's nothing to be done at that point. Do we have a band-aid? We do not have a band-aid, but we do have some hashes. And yeah, if you're wondering why Quicken goes away so fast, Fervor's Quicken is actually a pretty short RT move. You don't get very much from it, like it'll last maybe 2 or 3 turns, whereas the default one will last you maybe 5. It's just a nice little speed boost. Trying to see if I have anything else here. So what we want to do is we're actually in a good position right now, as weird as it looks. I believe if we move 1 tile into the poison... Oh, for crap's sake. Let's check his bow range, because he's got a really long range, this one. He's got a 6 to 10. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Alright. Move here. Hopefully he'll decide to get close. Hopefully he gets within 6 tiles. If we had... We need levitate is what we need. Alright, so levitate will let us ignore the movement penalties on those tiles. Alright, so he's going to get out of range. I mean, we're probably just gonna have to warp on down there, to be honest. Alright, and in this case, we're just gonna throw out a Charybdis. This will put him into slow. He'll probably run up and try to sit in those tiles so that you can use Disembowel. He'll still have an accuracy penalty from it. But yeah, that should pretty much do another 100 to 200 by itself, because he'll be stuck and have a hard time moving. Alright. Just gonna try to fight this guy out. Thanks for that 25%. Greatly appreciate it. Nice thing about Light Touch, by the way, the extra scratch damage from Light there doesn't give him extra TP, so it doesn't really generate that much more TP. Okay. So he's just going to take some passive damage off that poison. Which is weird. You'd think that these guys would be pretty comfortable walking on poison, considering they're supposed to be a poison dragon. What the crap? Nope. Alright, that wasn't good. That's the first time he decided to actually use his breath move. Alright, they're all stuck. That's good. Okay, with any luck, he'll only be able to melee here. Or we just die to this. Alright, we might be able to get out of it. So they're going to take on some damage here. Crap. Yeah, what we need is just not to get screwed by those finishers earlier, and I really should have just taken the warp. Some little details I should probably explain here. So right now we're partially having a problem because we're hit by leaden. I can't use warp properly while leadened. So that's not really going to do us any good. What the hell? Why did it select the shield there exactly? Okay, not sure what happened there. It doesn't make too much of a difference, but oh well. We're just going to try to struggle it out. Now that I think about it, why am I doing it this way? Because I could just use the better healing items now that I think about it. Because I could just use Warrior here. I think it was Warrior that had Field Alec too. Or was it Knight that had Field Alec too? No, I think this is still doable. We're just going to do it this way. And we're actually going to hold on to the ginseng. So, going to move here, going to accept that I'm going to get slowed. Griffin comes up, he attacks, does his whole thing, gets countered, etc., etc. We get consecrated on the second turn. From there, we end up using a ginseng to get a fervor on the ghost. Should be able to hit him with a finisher and handle it that way. From there, we finisher snipe everything except for the archer. Turn on sidestep. Don't fly up to the thing because that was the big mistake there. Just trying to deal with them head on was it just wasn't going to work out. I don't know why I did that, to be honest. Took an unnecessary risk here. Alright. Stepping away for just a sec. Go. Griffin's done. Now, how much do we need to ruinate the Ghost Man? Just a little bit more. So let's turn on sidestep. Yeah, little puppy got a bit upset that her playtime was over. I know, I need more of that stuff, man. Got any more of that playtime? 1 hour wasn't enough for me. Almost, but not quite there. This one could theoretically crit. Of course it didn't, and then we're back in the same problem that we had before. Alright, hopefully he doesn't teleport away. Hopefully he goes for the finisher. If he goes for the finisher, we're good. Could probably go for an evasive setup here, but the reason I went for the tank is just we get extra health to work with. Please don't run away. He's gonna run away, I'm almost certain, but... Alright. So let's go ahead and drop one of these here. That'll use up our bar. If the ghost gets close, then we'll deal with it then. And we're taking very little damage as it is, so we're just going to leave it at that. Yeah, even Tornado 3 does barely plank damage here. It's just, yeah, there's a lot of meat to deal with. It's kind of the problem that you start running into with late game solo. It's just there's so much bulk on everything. And it's not really a bad thing, it's just a lot to get through. The downside of that whole curse situation, though, is, yeah, it scales our health down. So we'll wind up with this situation. Our evasion is effectively non-existent unless it's melee. We have about a 25% bonus to our ranged avoidance, so that's fine at least. Let's go ahead and move back here so that the ghost decides to run forward, and now that he's wasted all of our frickin' time, he can finally go forward and do stuff, hopefully. It's almost like he didn't want you to solo. Yeah, I mean, I don't know, this seems totally built for solo. Though it's funny, because, you know, I know Mr. Foles over on the SRPG Discord. He was saying the exact same thing about vanilla too. Like, it's like there's a billion different features in place because the game really wants you to use a bunch of other units. That's why so many of the debuffs will just completely break your character in half. Like they'll, especially in the base game, like you get hit by stun and your dude's just broken, and that's one of the most basic free debuffs everywhere. And then OV comes along, it's like, an entire weapon class gets free stun, and there's like, here's all these other stun moves all over the place. And also, it's guaranteed on two-hander finishers. It's like, ow. Ow, my butt, please stop breaking it. But yeah, if it wasn't for the necklace, this run would be way more difficult. Now, unfortunately, we got hit by that one. That sucks real hard, but hey, you know what? At the very least, the ghost is gone. Meaning that there is effectively one thing that can damage us. But yeah, no part of this game was meant to be soloed. Like, either this version or vanilla. Like, the vanilla one, the main story, sure, it's not too bad. But then once you get into doing all bosses and everything else, and I should point out for all bosses, if there's, like, I guess it's more of a scaling thing for this one, because it's sometimes weird to define what's a boss or not. It's like, for example, do you consider the Heaven Generals bosses? Because they're kind of bosses, but at the same time, you can spawn them whenever you want. So, I don't know. Anyway, when do I get my health back? If you're wondering why I'm not putting on, even if I put on Fortify, it wouldn't reduce the arrow damage completely. It's like right now he's basically just doing his lowest damage possible. It's like a 38 or so right now. But yeah. Although I do kind of find it funny that with the base game, the overall meta is to run completely naked with a bow. But then, if you're running it solo, that build completely cannot work. Or at least mostly can't work. I'm sure you could pull it off, but it's just a lot easier to not do it. That's mostly because you have to take so much freaking punishment. It's like, even with the really high defensive skills and whatever else, you're just sitting there, just taking a beating over and over. I feel like almost any other weapon would be more useful for this particular situation. But I don't want to try to redo this map because the spawn is really good. It's like if I redid it again, they might come in with a healer. But I was thinking, like, even if my one-handed swords and all that are really underpowered right now, because we only have the regular Damask one, if we were to come in with bad blood or something, that would just wreck this map like nobody's business. But no. Right. That one should just finish themselves off in the poison. None of these guys should have above 4 weapon skills. Dragon's Breath shouldn't be able to reach up to where we are, so that should mean the only one that can actually hurt us is the archer still. So we've effectively got about 750 health to work with. That guy's gonna finish himself off, rather. If I stand in place, there's a chance the archer will get close. We don't have deflect, so this will always hit. Thankfully it does almost nothing, but it will wear down over time. I just don't know why they decided that this area doesn't need stairs. Maybe they were worried about a whole Ring Around the Rosie situation, but, like, I mean, it's a map where even, like, in OV, a lot of the movement options, like, if somebody had jump, their movement was just increased by 1. If they had jump 2, then they have access to jump. That was kind of, same thing goes for, like, Swiftfoot and everything else. Most units can just move 1 extra tile, but then if, like, if they had Swiftfoot 2 or something like that, then they were just given regular Swiftfoot. So everybody's movement was increased, but even with all that, like, you can tell it's not really going to be enough. With this map, you can't actually move, which is more than likely why they gave you the Wheel of Fortune teleport. It's just, it feels like a weird workaround when they could have just maybe thought about the map design a little bit better. Because this is only a DLC map problem. So, I don't know. Then again, Palace of the Dead wasn't really DLC, but it is one of the new things that they made. Either way, we just continue sitting here. With any luck? No, he's moving back. Really annoyed by that 1 crit. If it wasn't for that crit, we'd be done with this crap already. But nope. Accidentally crit the guy that we need to get loot from. Which, I guess, hit him so hard that the boots he was carrying exploded. BOTD was around PS1 days. No, it was, but it was different. So, you know the merchant map? Basically, that was the main map. You basically had that map about 100 times. And then you had a few little variations here and there. But yeah, it was just basically rolling random enemies into the same map for 100 floors. Then occasionally you ran into some random events and that kind of stuff. But yeah. And 20 floors down for getting up. Yeah, it was kind of a iffy. Alright. So here's what we're gonna do. The only one that can hurt us is the archer, so we need to deal with the archer. Now we're just gonna charge up. We're gonna hit our strengthen. move over here first. See if we can maybe convince him to come join us. Turn on Levitate just in case he does. Because we basically need 2 shots to finish him off. We know that with a consecrated crit, we can finish him off with 1 hit. Don't want that, though. Okay, he did decide to come down and join us. Kind of wish I had some sort of leaden ability on me. Just prevent him from flying. Don't at the moment, so we're going to have to settle for slow. Unless Consecrate happens to throw this over the edge. Alright, so in this case I'm actually better off going with Charybdis. That'll put him within 1 hit range, and it'll slow him down significantly. He's already an archer, he just made a long move, and he took a shot. That is one of... So archers are one of the slowest classes in the game right now. Their movement costs a lot, their bows take a lot to use, and I should hopefully get my turn before him. Yes. So this is one of those cases where I am allowing cheesiness, because fishing for drops is garbage. And it's just not something anyone wants to do. So that should be it, but we'll check. I believe he only has the 1 drop. Nope. And yeah, I should point out another reason that I'm allowing this is when it comes to drops and other things. He's already done it with crafting books, but Rakes has already said if somebody's got a unique drop, they're just gonna drop it because, again, just fishing for drops is garbage. Nobody wants to do it. Nope. Nope. So yeah, any action you take will pretty much give you a different timeline and all that. So all that we're really doing here is repeatedly resetting it so that it rolls for another drop, which we could also do by chasing them around the map, but I'll be honest, I don't really feel like it, so we're just gonna keep doing this. Nobody likes loot grinding. Plus, yeah, I'm not redoing the entire friggin' thing to... Okay, so I should probably explain. Every time that we do this, we'd have to redo the entire fight, hit the guy, and hope that he dropped a thing that he might have a really low chance of dropping. Like, some of them are as low as, like, 5%. And normally the way that the game wanted you to get around this is because they wanted you to go in and they use the wheel system. They wanted you to use the retreat system. It's like you could basically go and cheese it to your heart's content. It was just like it basically would break the other game's mechanics to do so. So yeah, not really ideal by any stretch of the imagination. All right. Now, is there anything I can do to screw with this guy's movement or something? Let's see. Not really. If I give him Levitate, I wonder if that'll make him unable to fly. Actually, I guess I can't do it on him, huh? Well, we'll give him False Flight at least. Go ahead and just march our butt over here. start the process over again. Neato. Please give me boots. So we're gonna have to eat a finisher to even step on this tile. Nope. What about from here? Nope. And yeah, bear in mind that they expected people to find these. So, I should point out, with the whole guaranteed drop thing, that's another one of those things that might have been an oversight, because in some cases, like for example with the city ring, it is their only drop, and it makes sense for it to be their only drop, because the series was always like that. Again, as to why exactly some of them are just ridiculous like this, who knows? Who knows? Because it's usually a random enemy that looks like every single other one. The odds of somebody running into it are astronomically slim. So, I don't know. Delicious! That delicious water? I'm glad to hear it, kiddo. What's up? What do you need? Yes, ma'am. Alright, be right back. Alright. The Sucktacular continues. Whoa. Dang, little Miss Attitude. Over here yelling at my dog. Alright, same thing. Do the quick save, run up, do the stabbing. See if he drops a bag. This is just... Nobody wants to spend several hours attempting to grab somebody's sack, okay? Anywho... Still nope. This is, of course, when I find out that this was, like, just a completely wasted effort and he just doesn't have it. Or that this thing was outdated and what it really meant was it was under level 28, not it unlocks at 28 like everything else. Because sometimes it's 30, that's why we're here at above 30. Didn't want to take any chances with that. So I ran into that problem once, oh for God's sake. This guy is basically set to apparently drop every single item that he carries. So some of them will drop only a set specific collection of items, and some of them will drop literally any item that they carry. So this guy seems to be able to drop every item that he carries. Oh, hi, Mr. Dude. What's up? Oh? There you go. Alright, is this it? Nope. Oh, my sweet goodness. Sir, please stick your boots in a sack and drop them. No, I don't know why you have them, and I hope you're actually the right one here. Man, I'll feel stupid if he's somewhere completely different. Because that is still a possibility. Nope, don't want that bow. Right. That leaves this option. Alright, now we'll go ahead and save state it right there so they can quickly reset back to this point. Nope. Hate doing this stuff. Because this is not gameplay. This is making the game do what it used to do. Actually, let's take a quick double check here. Take a look at the drop tables here. Balance of the dead loot table, and let's see here. Because this guide has been reliable so far, I can't imagine it would be completely off. But I just want to double check that we're actually going for the right thing here. Whoa, whoa, whoa! What are we doing? How so? It's fine. Hey. Hey, I gave that to him. That's not yours. No, not yours. Alright, yeah, double checked it with another one here, and yeah, there's another one that says the same thing. That it's supposed to be this guy. Well, I mean, hopefully he doesn't fly away now. Coveted Curious, right? And whoever created this drop system needs to be slapped with a fish. It's just so unnecessary, you know? I get what they were going for to some degree, but for unique stuff, it's like these boots, there's 2 places you can get them in the entire game. One of them is right here. The other one is to specifically have gone down neutral, and it's one of the rogues, or it's either a rogue or a griffin or some crap you run into on only the neutral path. Like, it's... before, you know, there was always stuff that you'd run into like that, but it was never that specific, you know? I don't think I'll be able to save tiles enough to be able to quite catch up this guy. Here. See if maybe one of the finishers will cause him to drop it. So each finisher actually counts as a separate type of action. Also, be right back. I should probably bring up another paradox to this whole situation, because in some cases, like for example with the crafting books and things like that, they will, it isn't even universal, but they will occasionally have a secondary drop, where it's like they'll roll a chance to drop everything in their pool, or they'll only drop a chance to, or they'll only roll a chance to drop one thing, or whatever else. Now, okay, so that gave us 3 crosses. So that puts us back 1 tile. And then we find out if we maybe can get it from here. And then we just kind of keep doing that, except that didn't work, so then we go back and then we try it with the other one, and maybe that'll drop something, yada yada yada. Come on, man! We came all this way to your freakishly specific one guy, who's a massive pain in the neck to even get a hold of. Throw us a bone here, huh? It's not like this is a game-breaking item or anything either. In the regular game, you can get people that can fly and basically become any class right off the bat. It's like as soon as you have access to the river map, you basically already have all the wing people you could potentially want, and you basically get the class that can use the recruit skill, so now you see your first one that can use recruit. You get them pretty much immediately. So... ah, come on. Alright. So we'll leave it there. We get our second turn before he moves again. Drop another save. Now we repeat the process. I apologize, by the way. I apologize for this taking so long. Our winning, yes, we finally got past the ridiculously difficult fights and everything. Like, it's not like it's impossible or whatever else. Saw Charybdis, now you're being summoned. Oh yeah, you know, well, you know, if you say Charybdis 3 times, Veil appears. Actually, I forgot that we can target several different tiles with Giga Tempest, and each one will do something different. But basically, we got through the really difficult fight. We're just trying to get this guy to fart out his boots, which he's decided is just the most impossible thing in the universe. Because we've gotten every single item that he can carry, plus I think just about every single card. And if you're wondering, by the way, if by chance this is all rolling the same thing, the card has been changing every time that we do this. So he's definitely doing different rolls, he's just not rolling the item. Alright, are we gonna get another cross? Maybe we're gonna get his ring or his bow this time? I don't know, can I get the boats? Because the interesting thing is, they're supposed to be, from what I understand, they technically, because it's part of their item pool, they might have been intended to be able to use those items, but I guess they just never got it working? Oh, for... Birdman, I will slap you into a friggin' turducken here. This is... come on. Give me the dang thing! Dropping elite loot like his name is... Queer. What? It's a cross rafter. Apparently. It keeps dropping his stupid vest. Yeah, no, trying to get the flying boots. Yeah, I've double-checked 2 different drop guides here, trying to find the old, looking through the old spreadsheet here, seeing if maybe, just maybe, there's something else. Oh yeah? You want that? Okay. Oh, come on. You gotta be kidding me. I mean, game, I've been playing nicely with you for 10 years. That's not... that's not something? Maybe? Come on, man. Alright, hang on. There has to be something else here. Yeah, there's... It sucks because there was the old archived version of that loot table. Here's one. Alright, found the old spreadsheet. Ah, crap. Alright, attempt 45. Let's do this thing. Drop that save state again, so we can continue doing this cheese. But yeah, Mr. Vale, how's the email stuff going? Oh my goodness, hang on. Hang on, gotta step away for just a moment. Share wars have just broken out. Off the turnbuckle, the tater tots from a flying chair smack. It honestly wasn't that far off. It was more like one of them was grabbing a beanbag chair and just pretty much dropping it on his sister from the top of the couch. Well, the ref got involved. He was figured out. Alright. This bird, though. Screw this bird right now. So video card is dying, but the warranty people want me to mail it back like a heathen. So I braved the post office yesterday just to find out the President's Day is still a holiday. Oh yeah, that happened. Now I'm waiting for the snow to melt off a bit before I take out the video card again and try to mail it off. It's going to be weird not having a computer while they fix it. Well, you've got your phone. I mean, it's basically a computer for everything. But yeah, that would suck to be with that one for a while. I'm surprised. Actually, I'm a little bit scared to check the news, because there's no way President's Day happened without, you know, some kind of really just, like, completely self-serving nonsense. There's no way, right? Seems like that happens every time. Also, actually, let me reload that real quick, because I forgot to do the second round for that. So the nice thing about the ward abilities, basically zero cost, lets you reset the seed in a sense, while still having a finisher on hand. Alright, once again, starting with Charybdis. So while there are people who can write a 100K novel on their phone, they're better human beings than I am. I don't know, I think they might be crazy. Those would have you believe that phones are better than computers? Yeah, about that. See, here's the thing. You can't dramatically throw your phone out a window and have it have the same effect. If you're really going for that nice window crunch effect, you need a big old chunky computer. Like, I mean, just because I had always had to for work and whatever else, got used to texting pretty fast. But even still, being able to write a book on a phone, that is a whole other story. Which is weird, because there's that one really bad, there's this one really bad comedy from, hell, like a decade ago or something. It's about a family road trip. That's, yeah, it was, the entire premise of that one was somebody trying to write a, like an entire report for their business and everything else over their phone. Then they can just never send the thing, so they're just sitting on a toilet just furiously typing away. Anywho. Hope you like the sound of Hurricane. 'Cause boy, oh boy. We're gonna be here a minute, apparently. Because Mr. Lowell decided he's just too good to drop the item. Let's go ahead and call Lowell a douche, everybody. Hi, Lowell. You're a douche. And now he just doesn't want to drop bags anymore, period. Somebody thought this was a good idea. Beep 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 beep. And then we did get Tempest again. Oh look, an actual thing. An item has occurred. And yeah, just actually come to think of it, you know what? I think I know where that thing might be. I think I might have saved a copy of that thing in my Google Drive. So yeah, for those that don't know, the old loot tables for Palace of the Dead and things like that, they basically are not around anymore because Google changed some stuff, and I guess the original author is long past the point of caring. So yeah, we can actually make that move and still do it. But yeah, but you basically need permission to request certain files, and he has not responded to... Oh, yes, 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 here it is, here it is, here it is. Okay, actually, the loot table, So now that I know that I have it, I'm actually going to go ahead and post a copy of this one over on the guide, because it would suck to lose that. Son of a dick! This is the wrong guy. Okay. Okay. Let's see, infinite adjust, toilet, hair powder, toilet, everything. What? The greatest works of literature, and that's art, truth, nobody is willing to accept. Alright. So it turns out we need a completely different guy here. What we need, and wouldn't have friggin' known this because the other guide has it phrased all weirdly, we need a Hawkman neutral elevation 2 at 28.3. So, yeah, it turns out, yeah, it was completely off on that. Whoa, hi! What's the problem here, sir? There you go. Alright. Same setup is fine, unless we want to go for... Do we need a minimum level here? Okay, it doesn't look like we need a minimum level. Kind of wondering if we can go in with Spellblade or Knight, actually. Because that would be dramatically easier. Not to mention they'd be far more likely to drop it, because they have less garbage, I would assume. I'm going to try that real quick. Actually, then I can't use the Longinus. Also can't use the Warp Ring. What do we need for Warp Ring? 28? Alright, whatever, screw it. Let's just... Yeah, I think we're probably gonna have to leave this for next time then. Showed up with 2 casters. They do have a Hawkman elevation 2. Let's see, coordinates are 3 there. Alright. It looks like it's this guy. Mr. Heinrich. Alright. That's a friggin' guy. We've got 2 casters. That's annoying. Got a Griffin and this guy. Oh. Alright, let's go ahead and lock this one in. What's up? Alright, so this should be doable. Those 2 will get themselves killed off pretty quick. Not too worried about that. Yeah, we can get our Consecrate off right away. Beautiful. Let's move over here, force him to take bad tiles. Leave us with 2 melee guys and the Ghost. Ghost guy will probably do the same crap he did before. Please miss. Oh, wonderful. We're just dead. That's cool. Have infinite jest on my list to read. Let me know how it is. Keep posting. Might be a while. It's known for its footnotes. Think when I fill up a footnote novel, gonna try House of Leaves. Thinking if we're in a new weird kind of mood, though. You know, I'm actually not sure what you're talking about in this case. Weirdly enough, kind of unfamiliar with those 2. So what? It's like it's just a book of random information, or? Don't have a turn yet. Kenobi 64 flashbacks over here. Any day now. any day now. Alright, so if we get a Consecrate, we should hopefully be able just to finish off the Cockatrice. Maybe. Yeah, just. Alright, then the Griffin. Who we apparently just cannot defend against for some reason. See, House of Leaves is a book that's mostly notes and crazy talk scribbled on the margins to form a weird tale. Sort of horror, but the story's really told in the notes and scribbled on pages. Interesting. Might be able to crib this and maybe outspeed him. The Griffin should give us the points that we need to do an exorcism, so maybe? Never mind. Oh, good. Confederacy of Dunces? Wow. Yeah, know what the story is by a name like that. Favorite footnote is Still Lifespan of a Fact by John D'Agata and Jim Fingal. It's a real essay, and then all scribbled all over it are the fights between the writer and the fact-checker. Okay, that sounds brilliant, though. Oh, come on. Be nice, game. Parry. 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 I mean, I assume I get a turn at some point. I hear that those are possible. Yeah, if we didn't get hit by that early Petrify, it would be a completely different story. But, yeah. So got hit by the Petrify, which allowed the Ghost to get his tier 4s up, which then allowed them to just continue on that little damage train. Because the casters by themselves aren't going to be able to do too much, but they are going to be able to throw out debuffs constantly. Parry? Thank you. The Archer's a pretty big threat, kind of. So basically the answer to this one would be get rid of the Ghost. I'm going to go here so that hopefully he's out of range. I want the Ghost to get closer, stab Ghost, exercise Ghost. Then we got to deal with the casters. And the Archer, use the Warp Ring to go around the back to hopefully go deal with one of the casters. Would cause the other one to run around a little bit. Might have enough to just barely survive it. And then hopefully use the second warp to wind up in the starting area. Well, what's wrong with this? Why are you handing it to me? What's wrong with it? How so? I don't know, what is it? Alright. So, we'll hit this guy. I'm assuming this one's probably already screwed, but we'll see. There's a few potential routes that this can still work out somehow. That was definitely not one of the better ones. But we can undo that pretty much immediately, although it gets rid of that whole warp option. Might be able to survive a turn. Not if he keeps critting for free. Come on now. of those, do one of these, get all fast-like. That's not ideal, but it's really one of the better things that you could have done. That gets rid of counter. If we get Ruination on either one of the two snakes, we're pretty well golden here. What? Alright, so, let's see. If you see that someone gift you a book today, don't get excited. Jar's English was like $2 today. It's a good backup book, but not as good as the one you already have. The one for grammar. Alright, I don't think we're going to do any better as far as the gear goes. This heavy shield seems to be the best by far. Alright, we're gonna re-roll it real quick, see if we can get that one get another good spawn here. Looks like we did get the Birdman. We got to double check the guy. Double Ghost is actually not bad. They were annoying. No, we didn't get the guy here. Yeah, we're just looking for a good map spawn. Because yeah, I have time to give it one more go, and then yeah, then we can hopefully get the thing back out of here. Worst case scenario, you know, we'll go right back at it in a couple days. We shall see what RNG Jesus brings us. As he's a cruel, cruel, vindictive bastard. Alright, neutral, archer. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 22, 26, 27, 28. Okay. What are we looking at party-wise here? 2-hander guy, birdie, golem. One caster, what kind are you? Interesting. So, just spear? Just spear. Okay. Alright, well that's about as good as that's getting. Go ahead and save it right there. And hopefully this will be all good to go finally. Oh, and I just got the email. Thank you, Mr. Vale. Greatly appreciate it. Also, on the note of happy things, I was mentioning this yesterday too, but yeah, there's a bunch of news coming out for Daemon X Machina and things like that now, and their reviews are good. It's like the first Armored Core-like thing ever to get good reviews. People actually gave it a chance. And, like, they're actually legit positive reviews, like, a port done right and things like that. Because, you know, they're taking an already niche genre and they're like, yeah, let's release it on nothing but the Switch. Everyone's got one of those, right? Maybe go ahead and add it, make a port for the friggin' Sega CD while you're at it. But yeah, thankfully the reviews are actually good on that one. I know it seems like a weird thing and kind of out of place to be excited about it for, like, in context of this, but it's just... that series has been down on the ground and just pretty much kicked in the dick over and over for decades. And so it's just nice to see, you know, that it's actually getting a chance. It may not be by far the best thing in the genre, but hey, you know, finally one gets a chance. Because who, you know, lo and behold, actually releasing it on frickin' PC is maybe a good idea. Who'd have thunk it? See, speaking of gaming news, Unsung Story is still being worked on. That's all. Send message still exists. Alright. Well, that's good. I am glad for its continued existence. Alright. We might be able to just pokify the ghost man. Crit, please. Oh. Please don't run, Mr. Ghost Man. Please. Please be good, ghost. Oh, perfect. Perfection! Yeah, he's gonna get like, a free 200 damage, but that's still decent enough. Whoa, Mr. Boy, what's the problem? What your deal is? You don't know, do you? I didn't think so. Here you go. Alright. So. Most efficient option here. Find ghost, poke ghost. Fervorize ghost. It's like tenderization, but for the undead. And then we'll stick right here. And also, I will be right back. One moment. Okay, I don't know where that just came from, but my daughter's just like running around. It's like, you know, the whole "I Feel Good" song is like the all that. So she's coming along, like suddenly like dancing down the hallway here. For some reason, singing that, except changed it to "I Feel Better." I don't know why, but yeah, that just cracked me up. It's like, I feel better. What? What is happening exactly? Alrighty, don't have enough for justifying using one of my thingies here. What are we dealing with here? We got dude guy. Oh crap, which one is it? There's two. They're both neutral. Alright, you know what? There's a way to double check this. We are gonna pretend to reset the fight, and I'm gonna go take a quick look. Because I'll be honest, I just completely forgot who we're looking at here, because I missed that there were two of them. And we are not redoing that process for 50 billion birds. Like I said, we're just gonna slap all these dudes together into a frickin' turducken. I'm not about that whole situation here. Okay, so Bryce. Bryce is our dude man. And since they're right here, we're going to go ahead and take the warp. Go all kapow here. Don't have to worry about that golem, because he's going to be here sometime around next week. Going to go ahead and consecrate it up. Go smack around some archers. Not as worried about the two-hander guy. Pal, you are a dick. Yeah, they're all just running away. Surprise! I mean, that was certainly a move. Yeah, sometimes, which this happened a lot more in vanilla, but sometimes the archers will just decide to punch instead of even trying to shoot. Or just, you know, maybe not taking a turn, or in this case, taking 2 turns to punch. Whoa! What are we freaking out about? Okay. You both have the same snack. He can have snacks. Alright, okay. Alright, so to briefly explain what's going on here, we are a tad screwed, because apparently the game does not understand how 40 frickin' % works. Because, yeah, they've only got 40% chance to hit, plus we've got a 45% chance to just completely avoid that anyway. So he'll gladly hit it every single time, because of course, but yeah. We're kind of just sitting here hoping to not get screwed repeatedly, but that is exactly what's happening. And, you know, they'll gladly crit every single time. Fantastic. There's one small possibility. Oh, come on, man. Yes, 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 yes. Game over, etc. It's just douchey when that happens. It's like, how many times am I missing, like, 80 frickin' % here? Alright. Anyway, at least we got the right spawn, for what it's worth. So best bet for this one probably would be just to sit back, deal with the ghosts, probably take the northern route. Would put us in a bit of a health deficit early, but it would allow for hiding from the archers to some degree. Probably just go ahead and use a card here early on. So, Griffin gone, turn off Ghost, it can't speak. Functionally worthless now. Did I mention that I'm pretty sure that there's a hidden value somewhere that says if you're about to get a free exorcism on a ghost, they get automatically crit off a cliff? Because I'm pretty sure that's a thing. Because that's happened, what, like 3 or 4 times over the course of this grind here to this exact same ghost? No matter what cliff it happens to be. It's like, nope. Excuse you, I'm taking a nap off the other edge of this thing. Alright. Fervor. Then we drag the birds in. And then we hopefully finally finish this dang thing. Meant to turn on sidestep there, but it came one turn too late. Alright, so not exactly sure how this is going to go. We're probably just going to run into the same thing where they're running back and forth a bunch. Unfortunately, yeah, in some cases it just straight up won't matter. Because we've got Leaden on, that sidestep basically doesn't do anything. So even with sidestep, we've got 99% chance to be hit by that. Which sucks, but what can you do? What I'm hoping for is a Charybdis, if I can ever get my turn. Come on, please. Alright. Just need a Charybdis on Bryce. That's Powell, that's Bryce. Okay. Now the question is, does that snake lady have a heal? So I'm pretty sure one of them's got a heal. None of them's got a heal, then we should be alright just waiting for the rest of them. Alright, one bird's gone. Fortunately, I don't think I have a band-aid to actually cure that lead in there. I think we burned through every single item on the way in here. I just gotta get through this on next to nothing. Here. See if maybe, just maybe, he decides that this is still a good spot for him. Hopefully so. I'm hoping he runs left. He might just run right, just, okay then. If only it was about actually winning the fight. now we check for the drop. Giga Tempest right here. Dropped an item. Sit here, wait to be able to turn on the warp. Probably just get wrecked the second that we touch that bag. And or this guy's probably just going to fly right on top of it, because that's what they love to do. Because the AI is a douche. Might result in nothing anyway, because we got to use the turn. Gotta use the turn right there. Can't exactly go back for a heal. So we're also hit by Leaden, so... Alright, tell you what, if we hit retreat here, we can at least know if it's the right one. Or if they decide to drop the item. Yeah, it's the one. Okay. Alright, so finally, we know it's the right one. And be right back. See, one of us needs to change our ringtone because I thought that was my phone. Oh, do you have Google Fi too? All right. Tell me, oh tell me, do I have band-aids? Doesn't look like it. Okay, I'm gonna take a heal here. I think the safest route might actually be take a heal turn here. Oh my goodness, why do you gotta make that noise? Such a weird noise over there. Anyway, hopefully Leaden wears off now. Okay. So do that. We'll go over here and finally get the dang things. Okay. Anyway, I'll be right back. Alrighty, hopefully this misses, and good. Alright. So we have one that can match our range. The rest of us... well, the rest of this should be fine. I think the golem can potentially match our range. I know the golems have had some reworks recently. Other than that, the archer's the only one that can really do damage. These guys haven't gotten their new stuff, right? Okay, so there's basically golem cores now. Just kind of like customizable golem features, more or less. Yeah, I'm just going to throw these finishers out as soon as they're available. She can't actually match our range beyond 2 tiles, so they have pretty much nothing that can do that. In fact, in order to speed this up, let me get the controller here. See if we can't kind of fast forward our way through this, because there is some stuff I gotta go take care of. Right, there we go. Last healing item. Because all we gotta do is basically just use Giga Tempest on everything. Until the archer gets close. Then we can potentially do some stuff. Piss off. I hate that archer. But at least he is giving us some TP. Everybody else is slowly poisoning themselves. Come on. Throw me a bone here with these stupid low % hits. Yeah, she doesn't have a move yet. Can't take off half his health, though. It only takes 2 Giga Tempests to deal with him. Really? That's 425% in a row! That doesn't mean it's going to take him 4 friggin' hits to get up to 100%. That means he does not have a chance to hit. Come on! Be nice, game. Alright, so she's just going to pass out somewhere. Please miss. Thank you. Because, yeah, there's not really much fight left. Nope. Just gotta wait for him to get closer. Use more sidestep. Come on, we just gotta finish off these last few. They're already poisoning themselves. They're doing most of the job themselves. We just gotta get a little bit farther here. Come on, slow archer. That should be him gone. Yes, okay. And now we just gotta wait. I'm not even gonna try to get close, because that's just not worth it. Because yeah, I only have 1 use of warp left, so I can go up or down in elevation a little bit, but not very much. But then there were 2. Come on, get close. Not sure why now is the time that they decide to run away. So you might be wondering, like, why I don't just run up and fight them, because if they get lucky, if they do that same thing where they roll several 25% in a row, that's... this entire thing's for nothing. And I think the AI might be able to see engagement ranges to some degree. Because now that I finally have the points to be able to use this, it seems like they suddenly want to actually run forward and attack. Even though, sensibly speaking, it just means that they're the only one in danger. But I think they might just be able to see, like, oh, look, there's an interaction possible. Let's go that way. Possibly. Or maybe they're just randomly meandering around, who knows? Because, yeah, now it's at 100. Are they going to start getting close? I mean, one of them is. Yeah, they might just be randomly moving. I'm probably giving it too much credit. Come on. Yes, I probably could be both of them in a one-on-one fight. I have no other healing, and I only have one of those items, so... Might actually have to go for it, because they, without their forward guy, they might just be trying to stick to the back there. Alright, let's do this. Come on, please don't fail now. Swear every Emperor card only ever boosts it up by 1. Do I have a dodge? Oh, thank you for the host there. Appreciate it. We're just about hopefully done for the day, though. Oh, come on. Be nice. I'm more worried about the other guy, to be honest. Oh, he's got 200. What can I do here? Fall strike, maybe? Weaken? Reach? There we go. Should have almost no chance to hit. Yes! It's done. Oh, get out of here, controller. Bam! Alright, so decent avoidance lets you fly. Way crappier defense, but, you know. Can get this back to get some of that defense back. And there we go, we can now fly as a tank. Yes, save. Very save. And funnily enough, this is the one that actually gives you sidearms, but I literally don't have a single healing item left, so we're just going to withdraw, considering that the only store available is quite a ways from there. So, as I guess one final little thing here, we're just going to go to the thing here. See how much money we actually have to work with now. So far, less than expected. A lot less than expected. Oh, actually, where's that controller? I should turn that annoying fast forward off. Can I? Please? There we go. Yeah, that's about all I can realistically do at this point. Alright. As far as these go, didn't get too many. I'm pretty sure I got a decent bit of armor and all that. Because I need like 100k to be able to afford doing the other stuff. Just leave one baller shield just in case I need it. And the baller stuff is really the most expensive. But yeah, those fancy shoes should open up a lot of options for us. Funnily enough, their sell value is like 50. Okay. Well, we only got about 25k. So, generally speaking, did not go very positive on that one. How many can we get for this? 63. Okay. I mean, it's not bad. But anyway, yeah, let's see. Swear the cover for Gideon the Ninth tricks me into buying it almost every time. Then I remember it's a young adult science fiction in space. They had any griffins in it and back off. Kudos to the artist. Let's take a look at that real quick. That looks like Edgelord Jason Voorhees. I don't know. Oh, wait. Yeah, I don't know what that's all about. But, well. Alright, don't get anything new skill-wise. I almost get TP4. That's at 38. Probably worth sticking with the White Knight just for that, actually. In fact, yeah, we'll after this stuff, we'll probably end up getting that last TP upgrade. So that's just basically a functional 200 extra damage on top of what we would already have. But alright. So, thank you guys for stopping by. It's been... Yeah, Palace of the Dead was a complete and utter suck show, but hey, you know what? Stuff's looking a lot better. We can frickin' fly now. So yeah, next time we'll be doing this one. We'll be going through Pirate's Graveyard. That one is DLC scaled, so most of it should be on the easier side. And yeah, we'll see how that all goes. Technically speaking, so there's actually a couple more like weird interactions that could happen, because technically speaking, could make part of this easier by getting the Priest, which would be available from either Ferrampa or Palace of the Dead or Hanging Gardens, weirdly enough. Because yeah, the same old locations where Priest class marks originally were, it's just that Denim can use it now. That would help with a lot of things. Could run a pistol and exorcism build. Either way, that's all for another time. This is going on a bit longer than it should have, but thank you guys, and have a good one. See you next time. Take care.